Hi everyone, I know you all have been having a little bit of problem with this road tripping assignment, so I'm going to kind of make a short video, go through the steps, and hopefully this will help you out a little bit. So let's get started. First part 1, planning your road trip. It says determine your budget. Visit the following website to determine your budget for the road trip. You're going to go to random.org. I'll show you how to do that in just a second. Change the minimum to $500 and the maximum to $2,000. Click generate one time. Be honest, don't click it to get a new number. Write the number on the table below. Okay. Here is where you will write how much money random.org generated for you. Here is where you will write down where you're going and the purchases that you will need for your trip. So that means gas, hotel money, things that you're going to see along the way, like if you're going to go to an amusement park, food, and down here, how much money that you have to spend will affect your trip. So what's going to be your largest cost? If you're traveling a long way, it's going to be gas. If you're going somewhere, decently close, it's going to be, nice hotels or all the fun things you're going to do. All right, let's work this random.org. I'm going to right click this, and I know this pops up, just try to ignore it, and click on the link, or you can open up a new tab and type random.org in. All right, now you're going to come over here to this number generator. Type in 500 because that was 500 because that was our minimum, 2,000 because that was our maximum. Generate. All right, 1,669. That is going to be my budget for the trip. Okay, so that's where I'm going to indicate how much my budget is. $1,669. I want you to get as close as you can to using all of the money in your budget. That means I want you to use up to at least almost $100. I want you to have less than $100 left over in your budget if you have any money left over at all. I understand that when you're creating this budget, sometimes you may go over. So if you're over, a couple of dollars or up to, $100, that's fine. But I want you to really try to stay as close to that budget as well. Also remember, in order for you to be able to do this project, you need to factor in hotels. I know some of you are saying, I can stay with family, and we can factor that in, but the point of this project is for you to be able to work with the actual numbers. So let's say you're going somewhere absolutely new, or you're not sleeping in your car every night, or you're not tent camping every night, or if you do, make it be a campground that you have to pay like $3 for, or stay in a hotel one night and stay in your car another night. We've got to play with these numbers, so let's make sure we're adding in the numbers to it. Also, same thing about eating out. You got to factor in your groceries. Make sure you have a numerical value for all of them. Now, I'm not saying you can't have one day where you sleep in your tent for free, but I don't want it to be 3, 4, 5 days out of the week. All right, here I'm going to write down where I'm going. Well, my main goal is Wilmington, North Carolina. So that's what I'm going to write down here. I want to visit Wilmington, but I also want to make a road trip of it, which means you're going to select several cities before you actually get to the city that you're going to. Sorry, that was my cats. All right. What purchases will I need to make for my trip? Well, I know, since I have been to Wilmington, that it only takes less than 8 hours to get there. So most of my money I'm going to spend on hotels, leisure, which is like fun activities, amusement parks, aquariums, anything that's going to cost money to get into the attraction. And then I'm going to spend money on food, and then probably the least amount will be on gas. So that's why I'm going to put it in that order. How much money will I need to spend? Well, same thing that I said here. I know that I'm going to need hotel, leisure, food, and gas. And I'm going to keep that in that order because that's what I'm going to spend most of my money on. Hotel first, leisure second, food third, and gas fourth. All right, now if you are someone who's traveling quite a ways, like let's say you're going to take a few days and you're going to go to Texas. Your gas is probably going to cost you the most because you're going to cut corners with where, staying in cheap hotels, staying in your tent a night or two, and cutting out like amusement parks or aquariums or museums. You're going to go to a lot of natural free places probably, especially if you have a low budget. Alright, so that's going to get you started for the first page. Alright, page 2, picking locations. Creating and sharing the map. We're going to go to Google My Maps, and I've already created the map, and depending on whose homeroom you're in, that's what the map name is going to be called. You should already have a link, and I'm going to show you how to find that link in your drive, in your Google Drive. So we'll go back to that. Next thing we're going to do is picking and plotting locations. Choose a minimum of 5 locations if you can, and add a pin to it on your My Google Maps. And we're also going to be picking places based on where we're going. So if I'm going to North Carolina, am I going to go towards Arkansas and go that way to North Carolina? No, probably not. But I do go through portions of South Carolina and North Carolina, so I have those 2 states to work with if I wanted to. Alrighty. Here, you're going to include a link to your Google Map below. I'll show you how to do that. You're just going to hyperlink the website, whichever one it is, the Shepherd or the Hildenbrand. And then down below here, include a picture of your Google Map below. We will either print that out to this, because I think I'm going to have you all do paper copies. So we may just print that out, or we may put it online. I'm not sure yet. We'll see where we get there. Alright, so I'm going to scoot on over here to the computer and show you how to do Google My Maps. Alright everybody, everyone should have been invited to the Google Map page. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to Google, make sure you're signed in, and you see this little square made of smaller squares, click that. And then you're going to find Drive. Yours may not necessarily be in the same place as mine. Alright, my Drive is here. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to click Shared with Me. So once you click that, you should have a map over here somewhere. It's probably going to say Shepherd or Hildenbrand. I don't have one because I didn't share it with this page. But this is the page you're going to access your map. See, right here is where it saved my road trip in. Over here is where we're going to access the map. Remember guys, please make a paper copy of everything you do just in case it doesn't save. Alright, so once we click that, it'll open up our map page. Alright everybody, so I want to know where I want to stop on the way to Wilmington. So the first thing I'm going to do, this is not the My Google Map. This is just straight up regular Google Maps. So I'm going to key into Google Maps, or into Google Maps. That's where I'm going to go. Click that. Alright. Up here, I'm going to go to Wilmington, North Carolina. Alright, it's going to bring that up. I need to find directions. Alright, choose a starting point. It's going to go here. I'm going to type in Greenville, Tennessee. Sorry, this is hard to do with one hand. Okay, Greenville, Tennessee. It's going to bring up a map over here. This is the layout of my directions. Alright, I can go one of 2 ways. I can go through South Carolina, or I can go through North Carolina. I can even, go in a little farther and see, well, Charlotte's a big city. There may be something I want to visit in Charlotte. So I think I'm going to pick Charlotte as one of my places that I want to go. And then I've heard there's a really great museum of natural history in Raleigh. So I also want to go through Raleigh. So maybe that's what I do for day 2. Day 3, I know I want to get to Wilmington. So here's Wilmington. So I may stay there for day 3. Day 4, I want to travel just a little farther down because I've never been to Savannah, Georgia. So I'm going to come down here. So day 4, I would like to go to Savannah, Georgia. All right, my 5th day of vacation. I got to go back. I've got to go all the way back to Greenville, Tennessee. Now, remember, every time that you travel, you need to keep your travel time in your car traveling under 12 hours. So if you're taking long distances, you may not get to stop. You know, you can't travel from Greenville to Dallas, Texas. I mean, that's more than a 12-hour drive. So you've got to find some stopping places in between there. All right, so I've gathered my places. I'm going to go to Charlotte to Raleigh, Raleigh to Wilmington, Wilmington to Savannah, and Savannah to Greenville, Tennessee.